Hello, hosted once again with Mike Majlak when Ali Stegnato is on the show.
How's it feel to be back on the show?
Oh, it feels great. It feels great. I missed it so much. Wait, now you're... Can I hear you? Talk again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Oh, dope.
What's up? How are you?
What's going on? I'm doing good. Freaking busy as can even be.
I know. I can tell.
Launching a book is writing a book is unlike anything else that I've ever done, obviously, in my entire life, and then marketing it is crazy as well. It's just been nuts.
Yeah, it's no joke. No joke.
And then when you loop that in with the night shift and a new Maverick clothing line, Impulsive, Logan's insane ways, it's a lot. It's been stressful. I'm looking forward to quarantine ending so I can go on a vacation.
Your girlfriend too, your
girlfriend that I love and care about, a new relationship, just so much going on right now. Yeah.
It's crazy how things can change in a year.
No, it's crazy. It's even crazier how things can change in 10 years.
I know. So, okay, I want to talk all about the book. I guess first and foremost, the title. Can you tell me a little bit about where this came from?
Yeah, so basically throughout the course of human history, the health of an individual was based on the 4 vital signs. So it was your respiration, your temperature, your pulse, and your blood pressure. And that was what we judged a person's overall health on for forever. And in the early 2000s or late 90s, early 2000s, a new vital sign was added in, which was the question to the individual, do you feel any pain right now? How much pain are you in right now? And this was both a collaborative effort between hospitals and doctors and the pharmaceutical industry to kind of prescribe more painkillers, prescribe more antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications. And this became known as the 5th vital sign. So it's the 5th vital. And that new question, how much pain are you in or what pain are you feeling, has led to basically the prescribing of hundreds and hundreds of millions of prescriptions of opioids and other drugs over the course of the past 20 years, and endless addictions and endless overdoses as a result.
Yeah. Wow. And you have been really open, obviously, about your struggle with addiction and what you were addicted to. And I was reading, especially your, thank yous and acknowledgments. And at the end, you were just like, at Purdue, fuck you. Was that what?
Yeah.
That's the end?
Listen, there's been one perpetrator at the top of all of this. And so while there are a lot of other companies that overprescribe those kind of things, Purdue Pharma has and kind of was the perpetrator of this opiate epidemic that continues to kill 50,000 people in America a year, if not more, because the stats are underreported. They made billions and billions and billions of dollars off one drug, which was called OxyContin, which you have friends that have died of. I have friends that have died of. Every single person watching this knows someone who at least knows someone who is an addict to OxyContin or has died as a result of it. It touches every single corner, every single neighborhood. It is without any kind of it doesn't discriminate in any way. It's just been one of the biggest tragedies in American history, and it's a story that's very close to me, and that's what I'm telling in the 5th vital.
Yeah. Why did you decide that right now is a great time to open up about this, release a book, and why was doing it in a book the best format for you?
That's a really good question. I mean, I never imagined all of this was going to happen. In 2012, when I started writing this book 8 years ago, it's crazy to imagine that I've been on this journey for the past 8 years. I was a dog walker, you know what I'm saying, in Milford, Connecticut. And I never imagined that this was all going to happen. I thought I was going to write this book, and I always was worried that in life, after you die, a lot of times there's no one left to tell the intimate parts of your story. And so those stories are forgotten. And that's always been something that scared me. A lot of people do things for different reasons in this world. They do things for money or for fame or for prestige. Legacy has always been very important to me. And I hate the idea of when you die, your story dies along with you. And so I started writing the book in 2012. If I had started, now I may have done it as a documentary. I may have done it as a long form podcast, who knows? But it became a way for me to dump out my darkest, deepest secrets. And, I put out this 2-chapter prelude over the past week, and the response has been absolutely crazy. It's #1 across the board on Amazon right now. #1 memoir, #1 autobiography, #1 celebrity. The response just to the prelude has made me incredibly happy inside and fulfilled, but it's nothing compared to what's in this book. I mean, it is some of the most grotesque, visceral, and disturbing things that that anyone could ever read or think of, and it really is a really, really moving story. But the most important part of the story is not the disgusting and the grotesque, but it's the comeback, and it's the rising out of the ashes of that. And that's what I want people to take from the story.
Yeah. Well, and I think that so many people, I mean, it's kind of like, it's like the silent killer, you don't know who's really struggling with it, and they can look, like they have it all together and they have an addiction. Who's your audience for this? Because I know you guys, through Logan, through Impulsive, you have a younger audience, but is this, for everyone? Who are you aiming towards?
Yeah, I mean, my audience is obviously a little bit aged up, and Logan's has become a lot too over the past couple of years because of Impulsive and because of his content style. Mine's even got another probably 5 years on top of that. And so, but regardless of age, regardless of gender, any of the normal audience metrics that we base our delivery on, this book is for the forgotten ones. This book is for the lost souls, the people that wake up every day and don't know if they still want to be here or not. You know what I'm saying? That wake up every day and they struggle with thoughts of intense depression, suicidal thoughts, decade-long addictions to drugs and alcohol, people that have suffered from anxiety since childhood and have given up or are on the verge of giving up. I was there. I lived my life in that place for almost 10 years of a 35-year life. I was intimately aligned with what it feels like to not want to be on this planet anymore for a very long time. And it's for those people who don't know where to turn next. And I felt like it was important to show them that through even your darkest times, no matter how long they last, it's not only possible to get back to zero, because I was at -99, and I promise you, one foot in the coffin, ready to go. And I actually at times looked at death as a relief from the hell that I woke up to every single day. And I want to show people that it's not only possible to go from that -99 to zero and get back to a place where you could work a steady job or have a girlfriend, but that you can succeed and flourish beyond what you ever imagined and be a celebrity or a business owner or someone that helps other people as well. And so it's just been important for me to tell the story, to show other people who are suffering like I did that they can get out. And if they just keep that light inside of them burning, that they can make it out and that they can flourish.
Mm-hmm. In those like darkest of darkest times, what was it that kind of like, was there one shining light for you that kind of kept you going?
For me, particularly, it was my mom. And I honestly get very emotional about it because I put her through a lot. You know what I'm saying? And she had gotten to a point where, like the rest of my family, like my sisters and my father as well, had to accept the fact that their or her son had died. She had already mourned my death, and so she was. Every night she would just wait for that call, like, your son is dead, he overdosed, or he was, killed in some sort of drug deal gone wrong. And she never gave up on me. and she even though she had to show me tough love at points, she was always there for me. And so for me, I credit a lot of my ability to get out of it to my mother, but also to my network of people around me beyond her. And I think the biggest thing is that everyone needs to find what that light is for them, whether it's their desire to make something out of their life. I also did not, because of my legacy, because of how important that was to me, I did not want to be remembered simply as Mike Majlak, the drug addict. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that go down the path that I did and end up going out the way a lot do, that is their legacy. And I was not comfortable with that. I did not want to be known as someone who traded away all of the potential, all of the gift that I've been given to addiction. And I want everybody else to find that. And whether it's addiction or mental illness, the two are intertwined eternally. And so a lot of people that deal with one deal with the other and vice versa. And so I want anybody who's dealing with either of those evils to be able to rise out of it and see me do it and know that it's so possible. And that someone you watch every day dealt with the same exact shit that you're dealing with right now. And I wanted to give up and I didn't. I honestly was so tired and so done, but I kept pushing. And it's like a lot of times that last day when you're so close to giving up, if you just make it through that last day, something the next day breaks and you're on the rise, So yeah, it was definitely my mom, but a number of other things as well.
Now are you sober?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am right now. I'm completely, I've been clean from all opiates and drugs since 2010, since June 23rd, 2010. And so I'm coming up on my 10-year
wow.
Well, which is insane. But I've always had a back and forth with alcohol. It was never my drug of choice, and I was never super into it. But it continued to be something that I would do from time to time, just in like social circles. It's not something that I recommend to anyone in recovery. It definitely, doesn't allow you to make smart choices. It messes with your reasoning, so on and so forth. But now in the beginning of this year, I got completely sober as well. And life is incredible. I'm more focused, more dedicated, more disciplined than I've ever been in my entire life. It's the reason that this book is coming out, to be honest with you, because otherwise I probably would have been at Hyde dancing with, I don't fucking know, with Banks or James Charles or some shit.
Now, I think that I've seen my fair share of haters online. You have seen your fair share of haters online, especially sometimes when it comes to you talking about your past and what you've been through. Why do you think that is? And do you think, do you even care what those people think about the book coming out? Or do you hope that they read it and they can actually see this, story?
I've lately, over the past couple months, especially after adding Lana into the mix, which is tremendously added to the fuel of comments of everything, of views of everything, and it's been a double-edged sword in a lot of ways. I've adopted this mentality of different strokes for different folks. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, you're just not going to be able to make everybody happy. Every person out there who has an immense amount of love for them also has an immense amount of hate. The last thing I ever wanted in this world was to have people be indifferent towards me. I don't want people to say, oh, he's that guy. I always want a large group of people to love me. And of course, there's going to be a large group of people that doesn't like me as well. But I also think when it comes to this particular story, it's not relatable to everyone. It's not unfortunately, it's related. Unfortunately, and fortunately for me as a businessman, it is relatable to a lot of people, but to a lot of the kids on the internet and a lot of people that go on to watch James Charles do a makeup tutorial or to see Addison do the what's that dance called?
TikTok?
Yeah, one of the but what's that, whatever that one dance called? Yeah, a lot of these kids aren't able to relate to a story of a decade-long battle with mental health, or mental illness or drug addiction or any kind of massive trauma that could greatly affect your life. And when I started to see those comments from people, at first I was like, damn, do I have to change my dialogue? Do I have to change what I'm talking about? Should I just be making people laugh? Which obviously is my specialty and it's what I want to do. But then the stuff that no one else sees is the reason why I continue to do it. It's the DMs. It's the messages from a kid in Kansas that said, my mom killed herself last year, and I have not wanted to be on this planet anymore. But watching you talk about your problems and how you deal with your issues has made me feel okay and has given me hope. For every one message I get like that, I can deal with 10,000 messages of hate and people being upset about hearing the story. And so, no matter what happens, I'm unfortunately for those people, I'm on a mission now. Like I don't really give a fuck anymore. Like I'm here for the people that need to hear this message, and that's what this is about.
Love that. It's really just like, I don't know. You guys know how I feel about you. You all know how I
feel the same way about you.
I love it. I just am so proud. Okay, so I've also gotten to watch you like fall in love. Tell me about your girl.
She's incredible. I mean, Lana or Amara, whatever. I prefer to call her Amara, which is her real name. She's just another example of don't judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the amount of kindness, beauty, and power of the human soul that lies within her is it's impossible for me to convey on a video chat. She's tremendously strong, tremendously smart. She's a businesswoman. She, you know, is a lover of animals and has a desire for family and all of those great things. But she is just she's just an incredibly sweet person. She's an incredibly sweet person and very selfless. And the support that she's obviously given me, you know, has been incredible. And from no ask of mine, she's always wanted to be a part of everything. She you know, adores me and everything that I do. And it's been interesting. I mean, she's the first girl that I've dated in almost 10 years, in almost 8 years since 2012. You know, I was on a trail of destruction. I probably would have had some sort of fuckboy trophy in LA, you know, if I kept it up, because I was on a rampage. And she broke it down. Didn't take no for an answer, because there was a lot of times I either acted or said directly, I don't want this, you know, and she said, I don't give a shit. You know,
is that what works? Should I do that?
No, I mean, you have to, it's a finesse, but it was good because I needed that. I think every other girl that tried to get close to me, I pushed away, and I wanted to continue to be that, you know, that playboy and continue to just have sex randomly with random girls. And it took somebody to stand there and say, hey, listen, like, you deserve more than this, and I want to be that person. And now, you know, I'm so happy that she did that, because she adds immensely to my life, and my only goal is to add immensely back to hers.
Now, did you guys meet before the video, or that was like a full setup? But was that supposed to be like an actual setup for you guys, or was it just
no, you know,
like a dream girl of his, and then you guys actually like hit it off?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, listen, like I think Logan played up the amount of her content that I was ingesting. Like, I've never been a massive like viewer of that stuff. I've obviously played a lot in that industry, but more on like an actual level as opposed to consuming the content. You know, I'd maybe watch a video a week or some shit. But I definitely knew who she was. I definitely knew she was out of the game. I definitely knew that she had this crazy run and a crazy story, and also that she was married, and like there's just a lot of baggage there. And when I met her, and you know, Logan as well, when we met her, we were like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this is the same girl that we just watched do unspeakable things on video, and she's the sweetest girl in the entire world, like complete girl next door. Just these mesmerizing eyes, and just so sweet, so soft spoken, so shy, like just like very like nervous and reluctant to talk to new people. And we like hung out that first day, and then, you know, Logan had put together this dinner for my birthday, and we went out to dinner, and I started like getting to know her as a person. And then, you know, Jake Paul's fight happened, and I said, hey, do you want to come to Miami? And by default, we just spent so much time together. Like, it was just time, almost to a point that it almost wrecked us because we were spending so much time together right off the bat, which is dangerous. But I had never met her. I'd never talked to her. It literally was just this chance encounter that Logan, knew was going to be great vlog content, which it was, and probably most viewed videos of the year. But obviously that kid's just got a knack for what's going to work,
Clearly.
Yeah.
Now, have Adam and Lena's relationship, right? Lena, have they inspired you guys? Like, do you talk about kids at all?
I mean, she's already talks about it all the time. I mean, she's 23. She's 23 years old. It's constantly conversation. She, I've been the king of a specific contraceptive method that I won't describe in detail here because it's a family show. But she's been encouraging me not to use that method. But yeah, she loves Lena. They're very, very close. They're very close friends. And obviously I adore Adam. I think he's the fucking man and purveyor of the culture and continues to keep the culture alive. And I credited him and Bradley Martin and True Jordy and Banks in my book as to saying like, yo, like you guys were the ones that let me know that it was okay to be a YouTuber and still be authentic as fuck. And like those guys they all are continue to push being real on the internet. I sit down on the podcast every day, and every day I turn my camera on to shoot for the night shift is a day where you see exactly me. There's no script. There's no, like, oh, I have to put on this act. This is quite literally who I am. There's no, like when you see me on the street, you get the same thing, same exact thing. And so I watch Adam and she watches Lena, and I think she loves the fact that they're, that they obviously are having this baby girl now. And yeah, it's definitely scary. But I think more than anything, it's like taught us that, or taught me that like, you can have a relationship with someone who has a past. And obviously I have a past that is much less noble than hers. And so we fit together for that reason, I think, in a lot of ways. Yeah.
No, I like how you put it like that. Now also your boyfriend, Logan, he has let you kind of, I like in the last like year or so too, you've, started the night shift. You have kind of gotten to branch out and do your own things. How has that kind of affected your relationship with each other?
It's been as much as I want to say it's been a little bit of both good and bad. I really can't come up with a single example of the bad. Logan is one of those kids that I think truly does want his friends to win and to succeed. And he's obviously had a ton of people that have come through his camps that have had staying power, and you've seen some of them continue to create nowadays, and we talked about this yesterday at length, a long conversation about what it takes to be a creator. And I think once he saw me starting to put a ton of effort into creating the night shift and building it into what it is, he became more and more comfortable with the idea that someone else in this camp was going to be incredibly successful. Mm-hmm. And so now I think he loves it. Now I think he loves the idea that the camp and the Maverick overall camp has multiple success stories. I think it just drives home the power of this camp. And obviously as you watch, his numbers just pulverize on YouTube. I mean, he just passed KSI in subs. I saw he did a interview with KSI a couple weeks ago. He just passed him on YouTube subs. He's beating PewDiePie on most videos from a view count standpoint. I mean, the kid is getting back to being on top of the world, and there's no denying that power. And I think as I publish this book and already talking to Netflix, potentially gets picked up and becomes a movie, and I potentially take a traditional route, and all of this stuff happens, that me and him combined are going to be a duo to be reckoned with on YouTube. So Logan has always been a solo show. His brother had Team 10 and loved, bouncing with Chance and bouncing with all these guys. Logan was always intent on being a one-man show, the biggest entertainer in the world. Logan Paul, the Maverick. And so I think it has been a little bit of an adjustment for him, getting this idea that he would have like a sidekick. And in a lot of ways, we are partners, whether from a business standpoint, a content standpoint, we've very much become partners. And it definitely wasn't and has been an adjustment period for him. But now I think he sees it as an incredible strength in the camp. Yeah.
Also, you think I would do an interview with KSI and not ask for an interview with Logan?
Logan will do it in a heartbeat. He'll do it in a second. You know that.
Why? Not recording. Okay, wait. So you did tease that there was a collab in the works between KSI and Logan. So what's the tea on that?
I mean, there's nothing set in stone. One of my side jobs since I got to this toxic yet beautiful city of Los Angeles has been fixing burnt bridges. And I'm a collaborator. That's who I am. Like tried and true collaborator, business builder, bridge builder. And once I got a chance to start meeting with the Sidemen and working with them in person, I started to realize that these guys aren't very different from us. And they're smart, they're funny, they're creative. They have a lot of the same goals as us and the same interests as us, and especially. I've spent a lot of time talking to and working, on videos and stuff with Ethan, with Bazinga. And as soon as this COVID's over, we will hang out, whether it's in the UK or whether it's here. And I think that will just continue to build that bridge. And I think Logan has started to come around to the fact, it's not an opinion, but to the fact that, relationship building is a very important part to building successful business and longevity. And he's always, obviously, by way of it's everyday bro and that entire beef, he understands the power of beef as well. Yeah. But I assure you that longevity is built upon alliances, and it's a strategic move, and I will make that happen. KSI and Logan Paul will have collaborative content, and whether it's me and the Sidemen first, and then if that happens, he's open to it. I bet KSI is open to it. KSI's actually said that he's open to it, and it will happen. It will happen. I would say within the next 6 months.
Amazing. I like to see it. I like that. I like that you're a bridge builder. I feel like I'm the same way. I like to bring the people together.
I've seen the true effects outside of the content bubble that we live in. I've seen the true effects of beef and how bad it can get and in real life situations, and so I take a little bit of that to this world. You know what I'm saying? And I've also seen in the real world the power of alliances and powerful partnerships. And so those alliances are powerful to me. I also have started to turn my back on people that continue to stab me in the back. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to say any names here, but there are people that I've tried to help dozens of times and continue to bad talk me behind my back, and whenever given a chance, continue to say bad things about me. And so, alliances and partnerships are powerful to an end, and eventually, you have to make a decision to help yourself. And so,
yeah. You can't.
But yeah, that alliance will happen. It'll happen.
Yeah. Well, I love that, and I that I love everything you say. So I'm just happy to talk with you.
We need to get you back on the balls.
Oh, that was my final question, actually, because listen, I know that I can't be the co-host because my demands are too high.
Yeah.
Too much. But what's the status on the impulsive co-host search?
It's, I love the idea of you being a co-host. I think it sucks that you're in New York because we haven't been able to meet with you as much. But obviously, I got a ton of love for New York and the East Coast, so I'm not mad at you. But we've been back and forth on it a ton because we got really hung up on this idea or tied into this idea of having a female co-host, and we love that idea, and I think it fits in more with the current atmosphere and the current environment to have a more balanced show and everybody gets their say. But then we started to see a lot of comments and a lot of back and forth about how we've created this like boys show. And to be honest with you, the majority of comments that you see about the boys show that are positive are from girls, because they say, "No, you guys are the only link I have to how you boys' fucked up minds actually work, and you guys are so candid and honest about how you guys think, and we think that if you add a girl to the show, you'll pull back." And so this obviously that, and then obviously coronavirus and COVID has not helped very much either. But between the two of those, the hunt for the co-host, the third host has slowed down quite a bit, and obviously Mac has done a great job filling in. I personally miss Spencer.
You.
I really do. I really do. Listen, having three people on a podcast is tough. It is. It really is. It's especially when all three of them have really powerful thoughts and a lot to say. And Spencer was really good at bringing the right questions, the right timing, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, he doesn't say too much," but that was a great thing. And when he did talk, it was very, very powerful and very weighted. And Mac does a great job of it too, but it's tough trying to find a third co-host that knows that they have to kind of like hang back because the other two are always on, you know? And so it's been a tricky hunt, but we'll figure it out as we always do.
Yeah, that like synergy and that timing. I don't know if I can get that, but if you were to have a woman, I feel like it would be me.
I think you have a great voice. Everyone loves you. Everyone adores you. We love and adore you. And I think we should, at the very least, we should have you on for another show and see what the fans say.
Definitely. When this shit ends, I will be on the first flight out to LA. I will come visit. Awesome. Well, Mike, okay, so the book comes out.
Yep. The Fifth Vital.
May 5th.
May 5th, which is 5-5. The Fifth Vital. So a lot of fives there, which is awesome. It's available on Amazon. I'm sure you could drop the link in the description for this video.
I got you.
But yeah, I mean, everybody's going to be talking about it. There will be videos from Logan, videos from Lana, me, the entire influencer community. I'm calling it my one favor for all the favors that I've done. It'll be a massive week coming up in the next week or so. So yeah, Amazon available for pre-order right now whenever this comes out, and then also available for purchase on paperback on May 5th, and then we'll be talking about audiobook down the line.
Amazing. Oh, I love that. I love a good audiobook.
And I'll be the narrator, of course.
Obviously. Amazing. Well, Mike, thank you so much. Stay on for when I'm going to stop recording now. Okay. Mike, thank you so much. This was so fun.
Thank you, Allie.